UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. This is our weekly UFO update. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. I've been talking about UFOs literally for decades. I've written all sorts of books, shameless plug. Here's one, a Nephilim trilogy, which actually gets into the whole UFO phenomenon. But we'll get into this today's headline and much more after a word from our trusted sponsor. Hey folks, it's almost 2023 and nothing's really changed, has it? Yep, the year's ending and things are now even more expensive than they were at the start. We all love the holidays, but they're not too great if you can't afford them, are they? And this is just the beginning of what looks like to be possibly a very bad recession. However, it's not too late to avoid the same thing happening again. Thousands of people have retired comfortably with the help of Noble Gold Investments and their precious metal IRAs. If you've been a hesitant investor, but one of the handful of Americans who can go for gold and silver, now might be the time to act. Talk to an expert member of the team today. If you get in before the end of this month, you'll bag an incredible free 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin with every qualified IRA of $20,000 or above. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments. Call the team now, 877-646-5347, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That number again is 877-646-5347, or www.noblegoldinvestments.com. And remember, there is always a risk of loss, and past performance is not indicative of future results. I will say this, folks, I have invested, my wife and I have invested a good amount of our savings into gold. We bought several months ago when gold was much lower than it is now. So I'm not telling you to do anything that we haven't done ourselves. So I'd like to thank Ted and Pastor Matt for sending me this article. Others have sent it also. So here's the headline: Nuclear submarine buzzed by underwater object traveling faster than the speed of sound. The incredible encounter, which took place in 1990, has come to light after a scientist on board decided to speak to a YouTube channel and reveal his terrifying experience. A nuclear submarine was buzzed by an unidentified object traveling underwater faster than the speed of sound. This claim came from a scientist who had been carrying out classified work on board the USS Hampton. So it goes on from there, but that's basically the nuts and bolts of the story. Let me just continue. His claim comes months after footage was released by the U.S. military, apparently showing a UFO moving from the air into the sea. And the backstory here before, it's just a short article. We were underway, and all of a sudden, I hear the sound. It's really strange because it's clear that what is going on is something whizzing by us and is moving so fast that I just can't believe it. So the bottom line is this, the speed of sound is roughly 600 miles an hour. So it's pretty amazing, right? So how does this thing travel underwater? Well, this is the way it works. So here's the UFO. You're underwater, let's say. It's a gravity wave. It's bending space and time around the object and pulling it through the water. And that's how it's able to move through the water. How do I know that? Well, I really don't. But I'm basing this all on the work of Mr. Bob Lazar, who stated this way back in the 90s, that the propulsion system that he allegedly worked on, and I believe he actually worked on it. He's never changed his story in decades. It was true. Area 51, S4 in particular, which is where he worked. And this gravity wave was created by the so-called aliens and pulled the ship above the water and below the water the same way. So it bends space and time around it. The point I'm trying to make is this, that articles, and this is all over now, it's basically in the Sun, but it's been picked up on lots of other news sources. The UFO phenomenon is not going away. It's not. This is why we've created this whole series of UFOs. And you might think this is a shameless plug. Frankly, I don't really care. I really don't. You can either believe my sincerity or you can just think I'm trying to make a buck. I'm not. We actually had the first 2 films up on YouTube for free. So I can't do that anymore. So I'm not I've done everything I know how to do. I've been talking about this because it is the coming great deception. It is the coming great deception. When they actually show up, the entire globe will change, and change like that. I've said this numerous times. People still don't get it. We've created 4 films on the UFO phenomenon. The first 3 really deal with close encounters, but the 4th one, which is visceral, and in my opinion, the most important film I've ever created, deals with the abduction phenomenon. I will be on Coast tonight, December 7th. I will be on Coast to Coast with George Norrie for about 2 hours, I think. And then tomorrow we fly to Oklahoma. I'll be doing shows with Prophecy Watchers and other ministries, I hope. We'll see what happens with that, but definitely with Prophecy Watchers. And we're always excited about seeing Mondo and Gary and Bob and the whole crew down there. But that's this number 4 will change your worldview, because there's 4 people that come on the record. There's no collusion between them. They've all been taken. They've all been abducted. If you go to our website, lamarzulli.net, and you just sign up with your email, you can get a link to a free video. Not so bad. Anyway, folks, I will be back tomorrow with questions for LA. I'm going to do a pre-record and hand that over to John Adam, but we'll be also doing films all next week, and we will go from there. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. This is the coming great deception.
Something very dark and disturbing is happening. It is a global phenomenon that knows no boundaries. It adheres to no cultural mores. And the ones who are engaged in this nefarious activity do so with impunity. People are being taken against their will. In the cover of darkness, in the dead of night, they are subjected to bizarre examinations that are often sexual in nature. These people are terrified, violated, confused, and with no place to turn to, as who would believe them? This is their story.